From making records against Jose Aldo to not winning any fight since 2020, Conor may just have lost his touch. So let's cut poor McGregor some slack and talk about why he should retire. Look, Conor's all set for life, with him putting on the table a retirement in case he loses his comeback fight this year. I think it makes sense, because if I was him, I'm sure I wouldn't be too eager to train every day just to get beaten up. And what else could he possibly need after making so much? Obviously, it isn't only about the money. If you've ever looked up Conor McGregor's net worth, you'll realize that the Irishman is probably the most financially secure person. My man made just a little over $180 million in 2021 and claimed the top spot on Forbes' list of highest paid athletes. Indeed, impressive, because he left behind King James on that list. Not just that, even the two greatest soccer players of all time didn't come close to McGregor. And the sale of his proper number 12 whiskey, which brought him and his business partners an astounding $600 million, was a significant factor in McGregor's supremacy on that list.
This is a liquid gold, and it didn't just change the entire Irish whiskey industry, it changed the way we drink.
Although the beverage is about as tasty as a mud sandwich, McGregor has managed to convert it into a well-known liquor. He knows how to sell it. And look, despite not being the world's best fighter, and it's hard to imagine that he wouldn't want to expand the reach of his own brand, which may have an impact on Conor McGregor's retirement date.
Chad's got his back, and Conor gets back up. He tagged it right. Chad looking to utilize.
However, things are different now. Post-2020 has only been a risk for my boy, because, come on, what else could he possibly have to prove? Which always plays a big part in a possible retirement. The former champion will undoubtedly be praised endlessly by MMA bandwagoners and fanboys. But even if they don't, his accomplishments speak for themselves. McGregor, a champion at both featherweight and lightweight, also owns the record for the quickest knockout in a UFC title match. 13 seconds isn't a joke. The Dubliner took the game by the scruff of the neck and increased the promotion's exposure, marketability, and revenue margins almost immediately. The most crucial aspect is that he will be remembered for his actions both inside and outside of the cage.
Doing a fantastic job of defending. Look at him spinning around. Khabib looking to complete the takedown, and he gets it.
He brought about numerous changes in the MMA sport, some good and some terrible. There isn't much more for the Notorious to do except run side quests, which, by the way, he's currently doing. Or have you not heard of Roadhouse? Anyone with even a passing familiarity with the guy and his sport must be forced to wonder whether McGregor will call it quits this year. On top of that, he is not who he once was. Let's be honest. The guy knows he isn't the top fighter he used to be. First, in July, he will turn 35. In the realm of MMA, this is neither young nor very old. Second, he has significantly lost that speed. Again, despite McGregor having the greatest setup and facilities at his disposal, this just had to happen because of age and lifestyle.
Looking for the takedown. There's the big power shot.
The Irishman just isn't the same boxer that blew up the promotion with the pace and snap of his punches. The fact that McGregor built his name in featherweight is maybe more significant than anything else. He had to work really hard, toil, and suffer much suffering to get down to that weight class.
That's Khabib talking, and he's not saying nice things.
But by doing so, he gained a significant reach edge over the majority of the division. He was a machine with his speed, power, and precise punching. He was unlike anything we had ever seen, with his mental fortitude and air of invincibility. At lightweight or welterweight, McGregor is not comparable to current fighters. And he clearly can't take any of the top 10. 7-0 at 145. But with what he currently looks like, that will never happen. And if it did, I don't think we would be discussing why Conor McGregor should retire. And let's be honest, the guy ain't winning another title. Frankly, there are a lot of arguments that support McGregor's retirement.
To start this off, Donald's nose is already bleeding. It might be from the shoulder.
Few things are as significant as this one. For the foreseeable future, we may have an annual McGregor match, but at what cost? He has 2 fights left in his contract. Fans would undoubtedly pay to see him in a fight with a cardboard cutout, but at some point, he gotta do something worth seeing or else people won't pay. Earning money is great, but McGregor still shows up in top physical condition for his fights. Despite how much his drive to be a champion has been diminished by his extravagant lifestyle, at least unconsciously, he still harbors that goal. McGregor believes he should be winning championships, but it can't possibly happen. There are 3 weight divisions in which McGregor might compete. Although it is extremely unlikely, another stint at 145 pounds is obviously not impossible. McGregor was reported to face Charles Oliveira next if he had defeated Dustin Poirier in their trilogy bout. But come on, do you really think he has what it takes to defeat Oliveira or even Poirier again? That leaves us with 2 choices. First, become a featherweight. There he can take on Brian Ortega or Alexander Volkanovski, press X to doubt, or move up to 170 pounds to suffer Kamaru Usman's wrath. There are always other roads to take. Simply put, there aren't many distinctions between the reasons McGregor may retire now or in the coming years. For those who believe Conor McGregor will retire, there is one more item to take into account, and there are the additional sources of income the UFC superstar currently enjoys that, may not be available in a year or two, like boxing. He previously declined Mayweather's offer for a rematch, but that might come around again. Like I said, he has hopes that after his 2 fights that are remaining in his contract, he can keep his hype and bring more to the UFC by signing a contract. So what's his main goal from here on out? Well, according to him, it's being more consistent, and what he aspires for in this world is to have at least 100 additional bouts. As I said, consistency. That's his one attempt, despite a few dreadful recent years. He added that the whole on and off scene had been bothering him for far too long, and it doesn't just include the injury side, it's the whole combat politics. And you know, the current USA DA thing. But hey, such things are a part of life, aren't they? Crappy things happen, and that's a Conor special, right? To make the best out of the bad bargains, he's eager to make a comeback for now and shut all the haters up. And to top things off, McGregor declared that he'll make both remaining UFC appearances this year in hopes that he gets offered a contract, or else he'll have to go down the path of Francis Ngannou, which he clearly talked smack about. And regarding Dana giving him a contract, you already know how it's gonna go. Even after being out of action, the guy has gained more attention than many fighters. And yeah, it was more because of his legal troubles. But you get the point. And as I mentioned, he wants to put all the slump behind him. But again, a 20-month break isn't a joke, except if you're John Jones. So there's definitely got to be some ring rust for the notorious Conor McGregor. But Mystic Mac seems more than ready. He kind of even hinted in a tweet that nothing matters to him more than fighting, as he basically runs the show. And all he's been doing was focusing on his recovery and training. To sum it all up, it all depends on how he does against Chandler. Having said that, that was all for why Conor McGregor should retire.